I'm Russell Shingles and I'm here to introduce and to talk about the Orro 2017 Tour of Sussex. We're going to talk about the stages. There's 5 stages over the 4 days, and the first one of those is based in Ditchling. It's an individual time trial that is just about 1.5 miles long and has got a few key sections within it. Initially, at the start, we've got the long false flat, which can be quite taxing and quite confusing for some of the riders who haven't maybe done their homework, but lasts for about 500 to 600 metres and then ramps up into the main sort of bottom part of the climb itself, disappears up into the trees where you've got a hard drive, and then we come into the mid section, which again is a bit of a false flat, and it's going to be a decisive section within that individual time trial. I think if you go too hard there, you're going to push yourself way too far into the red zone and make the rest of the climb incredibly difficult. A really important part, because if you have still got the gas in your legs because you haven't overcooked it in that middle section, then the wind could be a really decisive factor. As you come round, if you've got a headwind, it's going to be very challenging and those legs are going to be screaming. Once we finished at Ditchling, the Tour of Sussex then moves further afield into Sussex. The next 2 stages are actually based for the first time in West Sussex. The first of those is going to be a team time trial, which involves a loop that's approximately 7 miles long with a particularly nasty hill in there. So the teams are going to have to work very hard as a group to make sure they don't lose any time. Then from there we move on to the next stage, which is actually on the motor circuit over at Goodwood, which is fast, flat, can be very windy, but most importantly some great time bonuses that are up for grabs there, so the yellow jersey will have to work hard. We then move to the other side of the county over to East Sussex towards Groombridge area. Now that stage is on a particularly nasty circuit, is the only way to describe it. It's known as the Ladies Mile course. You've got a false flat at the top, an incredibly fast downhill, and then a kind of sharpish climb back up to the top. But one of the real big things for this particular stage is going to be the finish, which is going to take us up to King's Standing, right at the top of the Ashdown forest. So for the final stage, we come to here, Eastbourne, and to Beachyhead. And this stage really is the blue ribbon stage for this event. And it's actually going to start down on the seafront with a neutralised start that will take us down towards the bottom of Duke's Drive. And as soon as that flag goes down, the riders will come up the zigzag road up onto Beachyhead itself. From there, the road swoops down into a really fast descent, coming down towards East Dean, with a sharp 90-degree bend, and some of the riders will be going at least 40 miles an hour as they come down into there. The road then meanders down to Burling Gap, and then once you swing a left you can then see the climb itself coming up to Beachyhead. The climb itself is relatively tough, but interestingly isn't really the deciding factor in this race normally. Normally it's the crosswind. So once you get up that climb, we then get to the section of road that's just behind me where I'm sitting now. That's where the wind really gets you, and that's where, if you've got tired legs, the race blows to bits. And certainly in the past few years, that's where the yellow jersey has been won or lost. And certainly in other elements within this course is where that blue jersey has been had a good stake claimed on it as well.